So how does it feel there? I think you're shrinking. You're shrinking as the days go by.
I definitely experience feeling hungry even after eating. When I wake up, I feel hungry, and so it's a very physical experience doing this challenge. And then also mentally, I feel, I don't want to say foggy, but I definitely feel a bit out of it sometimes. So I can, all of those pieces, I can totally make sense of why it can be a huge struggle to be so limited and not, and so I was saying to Tammy when we were in the car, she's like, how are you feeling? And I was like, I feel frustrated. Oh no, actually I was sitting right here when we were waiting for you, and I said, I feel frustrated that I can't eat whatever I want. That I want to eat this, food, I can smell food, everywhere we go, food is such a central, integral part of socializing and being together and sharing energy with each other. So many times it's come up already in just the past 24 hours. So it's hard to get away from food, and so it's so connected to so many aspects of our lives. And if your income or if your resources, your access to resources is limited, it has a huge effect on your social life as well. And then it's a whole huge cycle.
And we're in a food court. You didn't prepare to bring food. You didn't bring food to fucking eat. So you're like, oh, look at all this food I can't have.
But it's also been really nice connected. So being around people who either are on welfare or have experienced welfare, and hearing your experiences already, comments when I'm saying I'm taking the challenge, is are you? That's impossible even, and don't get sick. And this is from people living on welfare telling me not to get sick and being worried for me doing a challenge. So pretending to be poor for a week. But also the actual experience of shopping is so overwhelming. We went to Superstore on Sunday and it was super busy.
Wow.
But I could only buy a certain amount of things, and a lot of things that were on sale are only on sale if you buy 3 of them. Fucking gets you, because then you can only buy 1 or 2, and then you don't get the discount. You are paying full price because you can't afford to meet standards in order to get the sale.
Three things. Number 1, you don't. Even though it's cheaper, you can't necessarily afford that because it's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Number 2, you don't necessarily have the space possibly in your fridge or storage, or can you, will it not even just go bad?
Right.
And number 3, do you have the ability to carry all that shit back to where you fucking live?
Yeah.
Right?
And that's the thing too, I had a car to get me to Superstore. But a lot of those stores are actually out.
On the main floor.
And then
we need to have our go ahead.
So another thing too is looking at some of the other folks who are participating in the challenge and are posting to other social media, and then you see pictures of people planning out their meals. I kind of just jumped right into it because I didn't have time last week to really plan. I was busy working, and then
life.
Yeah, and I was like, that's life. I don't think a lot of people actually have time to sit down and fully plan out meals all the time, or even think of have the knowledge and experience to know what food has more calories or certain kinds of nutrition. It's not the context. It's out of context because a lot of people are coming into this from privilege. Well, of course.
Well, that's why I think in the end it's good that they can't ask for help or trade or get things for free, because that's more realistic. Because you could be a single person with no access to anything and too scared to take ketchup from the restaurant or
Yeah. If you were someone coming from privilege and then decided to just eat on $18 a week, but then took and accepted people's help, you could go much further than someone who is actually living on welfare, and you don't have the same support networks, because then the people you have access to are also similar privilege to you, similar class privilege. So it's a lot easier to find support than it is if your networks are all of people who are in a similar income. So there's a lot of context to it that is involved. And so I'm thinking about poverty, part of why I'm doing it is to also consider how it intersects with every other single piece of identity or background, and that people experience poverty. What you were saying about how there's more white folks who are now ending up in the prison system, but it's also how class actually doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter what ability you are, your sexual orientation, your gender, your age, size, citizenship status. You can still be prone to poverty depending on the context.
If you are poor white trash born in a white family, you are stigmatized for your whole life. And trust me, I know that. It just follows you. And those people I know, and I can mention 2 names, but they're anonymous because they keep that they were from welfare. They had a welfare background, but they keep that from the public so that they can keep getting jobs in the field. For real.